Wait, black people are what?
You are either a friend or an enemy at this point. There is no more, oh, everyone's allowed to have their own political view. No, the fuck you ain't. Either you got the ones we got, or you got to get the hell on. That's where we at with it. That is how life or death this situation is. You don't got too comfortable with this. To each its own. Everybody could know the hell you can't, bitch. Not when people around here dying. Not when cost of living through the roof. Not when we at war. Not when they hunting people down like animals. Not when families being torn apart. Not with racist policies being put in place. Not with voter suppression going on. Not with alligator Alcatraz going on. No ma'am. Not with our young boys going over there to war and returning back in caskets. No ma'am. And y'all love throwing out black people ain't a monolith. To hell you say. Today we is, bitch.
That is gay.
I'm gonna say this for you all in the back. To be black is to be controlled. What you all don't understand is black is the programming. So it's impossible to identify as black and be a free individual. It's just impossible because black is the programming. What this guy is saying lets you know what it means to be black. He is articulating the programming. And I told you all, and I'm gonna keep saying this, that you are not even going to be able to be black unless you subscribe to all of this degeneracy. So like I told you before, the gatekeepers of the black community are the LGBTQP, don't forget X, Y, and Z community. They're the gatekeepers. You got the white liberals and Jewish liberals that oversee everything, but the gatekeepers are the LGBTQP, don't forget X, Y, and Z community. So I'm telling you now, it is impossible to have a free mind and be black. To be black is to be controlled. Why? Because the programming itself is what black is.
When you tell the truth, you have to deal with the repercussions of the truth. We black out here. We can't come out here and do it any kind of way we want to.
We black out here. We can't come out here and do it any kind of way we want to.
If you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro.
And so they called you black to keep you mentally in bondage forever. Think about what it means to be black. Think about what it means to be black. If you ask 1,000 people, what does it mean to be black? You'll get 1,000 different answers. You know why? Because you can't even define what black is. That's how you know it's programming. You can't even define it. Everybody has their own definition of what black is. And since that's true, and that's a fact, that means that black isn't a real thing. It's an ideology. It's just programming. That's all it is. I would even go so far to say it's spiritual. To me, being black cuts you off from everything that's good because it locks you and it puts you into a box. And that box of blackness limits everything you do. Because think about it. When you wake up every day, you have to acknowledge that you are what? You are oppressed. You're a victim. And you are a slave. There's nothing good about being black. To be black is to be controlled.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That's why Joe Biden said, if you don't know who to vote for between me or Donald Trump, then you ain't black. He told you the programming right then and there. And that's when everything hit home for me. Because I said, why would this man say this? And then it just dawned on me. He said it because that's what being black means. Being black means you have to subscribe to liberalism, socialism, Marxism, communism, and globalism. That's what being black means. And then black people have the gift of influence. So the goal is to get black people to operate as a monolith, and then they influence the world to follow suit. That's the ultimate play. And I call it the globalization of blackness. That's why when Black Lives Matter came out, Black Lives Matter was the largest black organization in history. Black Lives Matter name was Black Lives Matter Global Network. It is called the globalization of blackness. The goal is to get the whole planet to think like black people so humanity can be forever subjugated to the powers that be, i.e. this beast system, i.e. the Antichrist.
You can think of the vaccine almost as medical reparations. It's the 40 acres and a mule, but of 2021. So we really should be giving this vaccine preferentially to people of color, I do believe.
Oh, I say it again, you've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. This is what he does.